Welcome to the Deakin University Match of the Round out at H.E. Parker Reserve. It is Bayswater versus Vermont Gold in the Division 4 preliminary final. A grand final spot awaits today's winner. I'm Ryan Long, joined by Kate Green, as well as the senior coach of the Bayswater Football Club, Mark Chapman. Chappie, good to have you on board. Big game this afternoon, and a spot on the grand final on the line. It's all you can ask for.
Yeah, huge spot. Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, it's going to be a big game. I was hoping for a bit of rain because our rucks are gone and we're pretty depleted. So the rain's holding off. So
yeah,
not what I wanted. But anyway, plan 2 now. So yeah.
Yeah, you never know. And speaking of that, obviously some key injuries last week, and we did see the scoreline. Had such a fantastic season, but injuries at the wrong time of the year. Not much you can do about it. But how do you sort of replace? They're hard players to replace, particularly rucks. But what's the plan today to try and cover that and try and get the edge over Vermont?
Yeah, so we've got like 6 out of our starting 16 done for the year now. So whichever way we go forward now is what we've got to try and put into our game plan. We've got 20 on the squad left, so that's our team, no matter what going forward. The way we're doing the rucks, obviously, we've got smaller, another on-baller, so Lynchy will start off in the ruck and act as a fourth on-baller for us rather than a ruck contest. Hopefully make it a 0-0 draw, and then we fight it out from there and hopefully get it forward and, yeah.
Absolutely, and I'm sure one player will be really important through the middle is Jenna White, the skipper of the side. And every time we've seen her play, she's just been dominant and finds the footy a lot. Talk about her and her impact this season again, probably leadership as well. I know she's quite young, but probably one of the more experienced players in the side. Yeah,
no, Jenna White, can't go past Jenna White. Like, amazing. Probably, to be honest with you, I've been coaching a lot of footy, played a lot of footy, still playing footy, and she would probably be the best captain I've ever seen.
Yep.
Crazy, like off-field, on-field, getting around the girls. Yeah, like the way she shows it on the ground, she just attacks that footy, just keeps going and going and going and going and going, doesn't stop. Doesn't get much rest. She rests when she wants to rest. And yeah, workhorse.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hi, Chappie. We know that you've got Zoe Lynch. She's a real gun for you, being able to play forward and back. How have you seen her progress this season?
Yeah, Zoe's one of those girls that came in, talented footballer, crazy footballer. I've known her since she was a little girl, and she hasn't grown that way as a player. She's grown as a teammate and being able to support these girls and bring them forward. Like, she's already skilled, she's already a gun player, and the only way she could develop now is to be a better teammate, be around the girls and show them what they've got to do. And she's part of the captain crew and all that this year, and just brings them into the game and lets them know where they should be, shouldn't be.
Yeah. You've also picked up 2 players, Tara Johns and Jessica Eakins from Ringwood. How have they fitted in with the team?
Really well. Like, Liv's come, but she's injured at the moment as well. Liv's a gun. She's dating one of the boys at the club. That's why they came to this club. Tara and Jess, fitted in really well. Jess is on a wing. Tara's on a wing. Jess is in the forward line. She'll, make a change for the mids and help them out. But, yeah, they're just cruisy girls. They're just,
I know last week you were hit with those 3 injuries, including another player with concussion. This morning when we arrived, just seeing how chipper and cheerful the girls were, and also getting to see that little dance that they were doing, just to, I guess you could say, get rid of the jitters, is really credit to the girls after having 3 out from that game last week.
Yeah, they know it's going to be tough, but the good thing about it, and it wasn't my instructions, it was the way they came to training going, and the biggest word was, we're in a prelim, baby. That was all they were saying.
Yeah.
So they're excited still about playing finals. So, which is, you should be. You shouldn't have to get anyone up to play finals.
Yeah, absolutely. Very exciting time for the Bayswater Footy Club and the year, but it's a great challenge for you this afternoon. We wish you all the best, and hopefully for your sake a win, and then another grand final big afternoon ahead for the Bayswater Football Club. They've been fantastic this season as we're going to go from one coach to the other with Steve White about to join us from the Vermont Gold side. Of course, great to have a second Vermont side this season once again. And Steve, thanks for joining us. A great opportunity for the side. A win today and you'd be through to a grand final.
Certainly, that's what we've aimed for from the start of the year. We started off in Division 5 and we were winning quite comfortably there, so we asked to go up, and thank you to Dean O'Neill, put us up a division for more competitive games, and that's what the girls are all about, being competitive, and we really enjoy these games against Bayswater. We've had one game during the year which was fantastic, went down to the wire, last kick of the game sort of thing, and they're a really great club, so it'd be sort of nice to get a win today against them. Absolutely.
It's a fantastic achievement for the club to get that second side back, and a true testament of the depth of the obviously the squad and the junior program too coming through. Is that probably the biggest thing about Vermont, is that the juniors are so strong that you're always going to have 18s and that pushing through into the senior side?
Well, I think we played here first game actually against Heathmont, and 14 girls made their senior debut from the under-18s. I'll say 10 were from the under-18s, 4 from elsewhere.
That's impressive.
It's fantastic. And so it brings back good memories too, playing here as well, so first game. And I think this year we've got about 5 girls coming up, and the under-18s are in the finals again. So it's a happy little club at the moment. So,
yeah, certainly right. And when you look through the side, I was going through and just having a look at a lot of the names we've seen play some footy at Premier Division level this year. I mean, how much of a bonus is that they get to challenge themselves at Premier, and now you've got them available in a final series here where you know they're going to have an impact, when, particularly if the game's tight and tough.
Yeah, the two sides work perfectly. We've probably, I'd say 10 girls have had a go at Premier this year. Some
Fantastic.
3 or 4 games. Some have played their better footy in Premier than Division 4, actually, so, which can happen sometimes. So, but they're well and truly earned their stripes to play. They've played their 6 or 7 games down here, and we're looking forward to see how they go today.
You've picked up a player, Ruby Waddingham, for this year. She's been incredibly impressive from what we've seen. With her coming from Darwin, Clarkey gave a bit of insight and said that playing in Darwin last season, they play footy style a little bit different to down here, and she took a few games to get into the groove of the footy down here. How have you seen her gel with the team?
Oh, look, she's been fantastic. She played for Jabiru this year up in Darwin, as you say, and they made a grand final. Unfortunately, lost, but she went funny when the wet weather started to hit. She really hit her stripes, because obviously it's wet up there and whatever. And but she's been fantastic. She reads the game very well, uses the ball well, and no doubt that year playing up there has helped her enormously.
You've also got a couple of other wet weather specialists, if you want to call them that. O'Sullivan, Cope, and Clittam.
Little Mia, well, they're a little mosquito flute, as I call them. They like the ball on the deck. So like the Carlton days from the 80s where they had the mosquito flute. We've got probably 6 of those type of girls that like the ball on the ground and use it well when they've got it. It can run and carry, run up and back, and do all the things that we ask them to do. So.
And really enjoy the kind of conditions we've got today, the ground condition being soggy. And
we got lucky today, actually. We thought it was going to be a bit worse, didn't we?
Yeah, so, it looked like it.
Very happy with today's conditions. Look, they're a good bunch of girls. They play for each other. And look, in saying that, Bayswater are the same. They're a great bunch of girls as well. And not sure if you know this, but my niece is captain of Bayswater. So,
wow.
So there's a bit happening today. Yeah.
Oh, of course. Jenna White didn't even put that.
That's right.
We also know with Burnsy, his daughter plays for another. His other daughter plays for another club. So we're beginning to realise that dads have got to straddle a couple of clubs as well as coaching duties. How have you found this season with your coaching?
Oh, it's been very enjoyable. Chris has been fantastic. He's set the year up from the start. We weren't sure we were going to get 2 sides. I mean, on numbers, like 2 months in, they would look like they were going to, but they hadn't all been to training. Then they got one. My daughter was going to play, but unfortunately was injured for the year. That's why I put my hand up. So haven't had the chance to coach my daughter this year, where we did in the under-16 sort of thing. So Chris has set it all up. He's got a lot to do with this, that's for sure. So his footprint's all over it. And Banners as well. Banners has been helping out as well. So to get that sort of level of commitment from people like that is fantastic. So
been massive for the club. I know we've got to let you go, but how many Whites are running around in the league? Obviously, you've got Jenna's 2 brothers in Ryan and Ben at Bayswater and Barone. You've got they're cousins with Brashers, and there's half the league is made up with your
Yeah,
family.
My sons went from Vermont to East Build a few years ago, so they're everywhere.
Yeah.
So we really should rename the EFNL to the White Brash League.
Yeah, I might need to. But all the best today. Obviously, we'll let you go with the game underway shortly. All the best for your side, and hopefully your sake a win and then a grand final spot next week against Wantirna South.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Cheers.
Thanks, Steve. Steve White there, the senior coach of the Vermont Gold Football Club, and they've done extremely well this year, coming from into Division 4, and they've got a massive game ahead. They take on Bayswater, who have been probably the benchmark of this division in the earlier parts of the season. And now today, both sides meet with Wantirna South waiting next week. Kate, we'll keep you up here today because we're one caller short, so you'll be, I think, my special comments. Have you got your mic on yet? Sorry, Kate, I've thrown you under the bus here.
I've got the mic on now. And there goes my voice, of course. Yeah, I'm happy to do that. And then I can scoot down and do interviews with the coaches when I'm down there. Sorry. I've gone croaky again, right?
It was good timing, but that's okay. You'll be fine. Obviously, we'll get your thoughts in a moment with this game as well as the division overall. But before we get into that, there's a lot of games out here at H.E. Parker Reserve and Quamby Reserve this morning. We'll start with this game. Obviously, is the 10 o'clock start here at H.E. Parker Reserve. It will be followed by the Division 1 preliminary final, Knox versus Surrey Park. And then at 2 p.m, we've got the Premier Division preliminary final in South Belgrave and South Croydon and Park Orchard. So a big afternoon here at H.E. Park Reserve. The action out at Quamby Reserve. We'll try and keep you updated with those scores around the grounds because right now, at the same time this game takes place, we'll have the Division 5 preliminary final between Templestowe and Heathmont Blue as Bayswater make their way out onto the ground, led by the skipper of the side, Jenna White. Have certainly been familiar with this ground over the last couple of years. They've played the two finals last year, preliminary final, win against Wantirna South 12 months ago, and then followed up with a pretty impressive grand final performance against Ferntree Gully, who were the benchmark of that division last year.
It's been a little bit deja vu for Bayswater because this time last year, yeah, they, as you mentioned to Chappie, they were the underdogs. So going into this game, I think they're kind of favoured a little bit more just on performance so far.
Well, they certainly did come into the final series as probably the favourites of this division to win the flag, and they beat Wantirna South twice during the season. Obviously, when you look at it last week, just terrible time to cop those injuries, and they've lost a few as well in the back half of the season. And unfortunately for them, unfortunately, they won't be able to return a lot of those players, and that's their season done. But there's a lot of talent on this side, and when you go through, you start with Jenna White. We've talked about her. Katie Cameron is, certainly one of the more experienced players on this side. You'd certainly keep an eye on her this afternoon if they're to.
McKenna is another one in there for Bayswater.
Absolutely. Georgia Thompson is certainly another key player, can hit the scoreboard as well. Zoe Lynch took apart the preliminary final here 12 months ago against Wantirna South. She was so key in getting them across the line. And we've heard she might play a little bit of ruck as well today because of the two rucks out of the side at the moment. So a big task for her. I'm assuming she might push forward as well and hit the scoreboard if they're to get across the line. But it'll be fascinating to see.
It's quite. I was quite impressed with the fact that number 20, Tori Stone, both Chappie and Burnsy have said, that she's a bit of a gun on the field, and it's her first season of footy this year. So to come in, be playing in the mids and, be identified by the coaches as like a key player, that's a fantastic start. She's only just played 9 games this year.
Yeah, that's right. And that's, a big task for her today. And we'll certainly see how she performs. But looking forward to seeing how she does go as the two captains will meet in the middle for the coin toss. Decide who'll be kicking where in this first quarter Of course, those other games at Quamby as well. Heath-on Blue, Templestowe will be playing now out at Quamby Reserve, 10 a.m. start. That's followed by the Division 3 preliminary final, North Ringwood Red and Coldstream. And then finally at 2 p.m, it is Blackburn taking on Montrose. So we'll keep an eye on those results across the day.
Great finals for both on both fields.
Yeah, certainly right. As Jenna White wins the toss and will be kicking to your right side of your screen. Luca Clark as well, the captain there for the Vermont Gold side. So, Kate, we're probably a couple of minutes away from starting this one. I think you had your tip for Vermont Gold during the week. Are you sticking with Vermont Gold, and why do they get up?
Well, Ryan, I never change my votes. Win, lose or draw, I won't change. And I do have Vermont Gold just getting up over Bayswater, not because I don't feel that Bayswater isn't a quality unit. I just feel with those additional 3 injuries from last week's semis, have really put them in a little bit of a bind, particularly when it comes to the ruck work. You need that height, but I'm really looking forward to see the rucks that they have selected for that for this game to play. Although did mention that one of them's a little bit on the shorter side.
Yeah, well, and we've seen that before happen, and sometimes there are ways to get around it. Zoe Lynch is going to start in the ruck, it looks like. I'll stick with Bayswater, but I think you've got to make a good point. And when I looked at the Vermont Gold side and just realised how many players have played Premier Division footy, and as Steve had said, they've played well at Premier Division. We gave best on ground, did we not? To was it Madison Clark that we gave best on ground?
We did.
In that Premier Division game against Baronia. So clearly, you know they're going to perform well.
And just for the record, I didn't have any insider information.
No. As we're ready to go for the first bounce to the preliminary final, Division 4 out here at H.E. Parker Reserve. And the first tap won by Vermont as they're going to look to get the clearance going towards your left side of the screen. It's White with a quick handball. McKenna wrapped up in the tackle. And we'll get a ball up in the middle of the ground. We'll see if we get a bit of rain here today, Kate. It's been predicted, but at the moment, conditions are not too bad out here. Again, there's White fighting for the football, chasing this one. Picked up cleanly by Cameron and copped one high. So Katie Cameron to win a free kick here in the middle of the ground.
Are you turned into the whispers of the rain forecast, have you?
Well, no one's on the boundary today, so I'm not jinxing anyone of us, at least, as the ball goes out towards the far side of the ground. Free kick here given to Vermont Gold. We go to Waddingham. As mentioned in the pre-game, is one to keep an eye on. And she finds a target.
I was really impressed just quickly this morning also with Vermont Gold girls. They were cheerful, chirpy, singing and that. So it's really great to see both teams very, very up, very positive, coming into their rooms.
Well, they've got an opportunity for the first one of the day. The handball over the top into a bit of space. Bayswater's defence under a bit of pressure as they keep this one alive. And the kick's off the side of the boot from McKenna. So it'll be a free kick to Vermont Gold. Now inside 50 for the Eagles.
A little bit of nerves. Both teams will settle in.
So the kick here. Vasari puts it up into the forward half, and it's taken by Katie Cameron for Bayswater, the intercept mark.
One of those players that we mentioned in pre-game.
We'll be hearing her name a lot today. She's very key for the side. Back out it goes. Big pressure from the Bayswater side. And we will get a ball up right in front of us on the grandstand side. Vermont Gold still pushing towards there, attacking half of the ground. Kennedy able to grab it, just got the handball away in time. Big tackle by Lynch. And we'll get another ball up. The famous green helmet. Remember that from last year?
Oh, absolutely.
It was the star of the show in that prelim.
Yeah. Cesare is having a really good early impact for Vermont Gold.
Yep, finding plenty of the football early as... What a yellow card. Now, I didn't see what that was for, but that's Zoe Lynch who'll be coming off the ground. That is not the player you want to have coming off. So that will make things really interesting in the ruck to see how they're going to fill this out, Bayswater. But didn't catch what that was for, so we'll we'll
And
see. That's 15 minutes off.
Was it 15 or 20?
I think it's 15.
Yeah. So that'll only get her back on the field in the last dying minutes, seeing that we're coming up to just 3 minutes into this first quarter.
Yeah. Well, basically, that's her the first quarter out. So can Vermont make the most of this? There's a free kick here going towards Bayswater. And a 25-metre penalty too. So it'll be Chapman to take it. And it'll be 25 again because Vermont Gold were, I don't know, I think it was Salapetro that just got in the way on. So it ended up being a 50-metre penalty here for Bayswater.
We've seen that last week too, just when they've just made an unthinking mistake. Last week it was just walking in the middle of across the mark line, and you know that I can attribute that to nerves rather than anything else.
The mark taken here by McKenna, centre wing for Bayswater.
She's had a cracker season. She's been 4 best on and 1 goal for her this season.
No mark taken. Vermont with plenty of numbers around the footy. That was Lee, got the handball forward. And we'll get a ball up on that far side. First 4 minutes of this game. No score yet between the two sides. Wantirna South awaiting the winner of this game. Great pressure from Vermont. Cameron wrapped up again. And we'll get a ball up in that same position of the ground. Thanks for joining us on EFNL YouTube this morning. Of course, if you're around the area, we've got Quamby Reserve and H.E. Parker, all preliminary finals today. It's Katie Cameron just a bit slow to get up off that one after that big tackle. And she ends up with the footy again. Got off to White. White off the left boot, bouncing towards the half-forward line. Vermont with plenty of numbers around the footy. And they're able to get the ball moving forward, tapped in front, Salapetro. She's done well here. Potentially cop one high from White. And we'll get the free kick. So Salapetro will send the Eagles back into attack towards the half-forward flank. Juggling mark there from Kennedy. And she's off and running. Inside 50, out the back. Bayswater under a lot of pressure here. Not to concede. O'Sullivan around this one. She'll end up with a footy. She can get off the right boot for the first goal. Not quite. Still alive. Bayswater looking to rush this one across. They keep it alive in their defensive half. Running in front there, Stone. Towards the boundary line. And it's going to be a free kick here to Vermont Gold.
Just with that quick call you did there, Ryan, it was just basically all the names of the players that we've been told are key.
Yeah, as Kennedy goes
Again.
Inside 50 again. Cameron juggling it, couldn't quite take the mark. Trying to break through a tackle there, couldn't. But Hunter, once again, O'Sullivan towards the boundary line, kept alive by McKenna. McKenna down the line it goes. They'll be happy if they can just get this over a bit of a stoppage to give their backs a little bit of a break.
Nice
But they keep it alive. Higgins involved in this one. Plenty of numbers around the footy here.
There's
We'll
been
get a
great
ball up at centre half back
Yeah.
for Bayswater.
There's been great pressure and defence from both sides, but predominantly it's been Bayswater that's been under the pressure with the attacking skills from Vermont Gold at this point.
Well, Vermont Gold have had the last few inside 50s. And just a bit of a chance here for both sides to reset a little bit. A few more stoppages in the middle of the ground. Once again, we'll get another ball up. We've played 7 minutes in this first term of the preliminary final. Vermont Gold coming up into Division 4 after a dominant first few weeks in Division 5. Bayswater were here 12 months ago, making a grand final. So both sides, it's going to be one really good story.
Again, both sides are very evenly matched. I feel that whoever gets the first goal will be the quicker to settle more into their game plan. But at this point in time, it's just been a really great contest between two really good teams.
Well, that was Lee's involvement there in the ruck. He was able to get it into space inside 50. Vermont with all the numbers here. Just dropped it, did Freeman. Ball comes out the back. Now a chance of Waddingham. Waddingham towards the top of the square. Bayswater with plenty of numbers around this one. And we'll get a ball up right in front of the Vermont goals. Big opportunity for the first of the morning. Going up in the ruck here, Bunning for Vermont against Harrison. Harrison did well and clearing kick away there from Cameron. Trying to get it out of their defensive half. Can they get something going on the transition? It's cut off here by the Eagles. Wrapped up, big tackle laid there by Chapman. And it just holds Vermont's momentum up for the moment. Importantly for them, as Freeman gets it on the boot and goes inside 50, and the mark is taken.
Number 37.
That's Madison Freeman. So it was two Freemans combining. I know there's three of them. There's inside 50, mark at the back. It was soccered towards goal. I think that was Teeny. Just threw for a minor score. So Vermont Gold hit the scoreboard, one behind. Bayswater hit the score. We played 9 minutes on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Just a quick update for you from the other quarterfinal occurring for Div 5 between Heathmont Senior.
We'll get back to it in just a moment because Bayswater under a bit of pressure here. This one could be holding the ball. The umpire signals it, and this will be a potential set shot on goal from O'Sullivan. Still a fair way out. We'll see what she does. We'll put it towards the top of the square. Can I get a mark in the dangerous area? Bayswater just trying to clear this footy. They're under so much pressure at the moment. Was there a free kick? There was. And Vermont Gold will have another opportunity here. And it'll be Madison Clark to go back from 25 out. Not too much of an angle on this kick, and we know what she's capable of.
Yeah, she currently has 16 goals for this season.
So Clark for the first of the morning. The first for Vermont. Clark has put it through for the Eagles. They hit the lead, 1-1-7. Bayswater yet to score, 10 minutes played in the first term. And they deserved a goal because they'd been pushing for probably the last 6 or 7 minutes, the amount of repeat inside 50s, and they finally get their reward.
Just quickly, the other prelim that's going on in Div 5 at the moment between Heathmont, Blue and Templestowe. Presently the scores are 0 for both.
I'd maybe leave it off if it doesn't come up. They might not be live scoring. That's a.
No, it actually says they're live scoring.
I think that happened last week at Quamby, and I don't think it came up. So
the internet.
if we get a score, we'll see. But we're back here. It's Vermont 1-1-7 to Bayswater, no score, and they're looking to go out the middle again. They got the ruck advantage. Curfew goes forward. Once again, it's Kennedy. But wrapped up, and we'll get a ball up. 60 out from the Vermont goals. We know they're going to have that advantage to the ruck with Bayswater's injuries there. Getting away, Freeman got the handball off, stolen here from Bayswater. White goes forward. Vermont got plenty of numbers around the footy, so this was an important mark to take from Thompson, who does.
Great work there, especially 2-on-1.
Had a lot of defenders there to compete with. It did extremely well. Goes inside 50. Can they get another mark? Still alive here for Bayswater. Vermont looking to try and get out of this. It's Thompson again over the top. They tap it forward. Picked off this time by Clark for the Eagles. Did she get rid of it in time? Umpire says holding the ball. Free kick here to Bayswater. It's going to Molly Davies.
First time in the forward 50 for Bayswater.
Should be kicking from fair way out, so she'll open up the angle as much as she can towards the top of the square. Big opportunity here for Bayswater. Involved again is Cameron. Wrapped up, and this is a good spot for Bayswater to have it. 20 out from their goals.
Let's hope Bayswater can keep it in.
So going up uncontested. Vermont get the ruck tap. Cameron again. White involved. She got one high from Elder. So Jenna White, I'd back her in to take the set shot from here. Bit of an angle.
With
35 out.
Yeah, 5 goals this season. So it's not... it is within her capacity to do so.
So White Goes towards the pocket, bouncing footy. Vermont, they keep it alive. And what's the free kick here? It's the holding the ball free kick, and it's going the way of Bayswater. So they've been able now to lock it in for the last minute and a bit. This is...
It's crucial they get a major off this. Otherwise, if they don't going into the quarter time break, it's just going to be a little bit harder for them.
So out the back still, not out of trouble are Vermont, although they're able to clear this footy now. This will be a big ball to be won. McKenna and Kennedy. McKenna does well. And wrapped up now. And we'll get a ball up centre wing broadcast side.
Both teams supported greatly along the boundary, and you can probably hear them through our Atmos mic.
Getting the kick away there, Curfew. Picked up this time by Stone for Bayswater. Going forward. Elder doing well for the Eagles. Went the don't argue. Just got the kick away in time. Socket off the ground. White picked it up. Going forward again. Vermont just have a lot of numbers around the footy again. That's Freeman who links up with Freeman. As Freeman now goes in towards the middle of the ground to another Freeman. That was 3 Freemans in a row.
Hat trick.
And it was, I think there was a downfield free kick. It ends up in the hands of Madison Freeman. But both Charlotte and Lucy as well involved in that passage of play. So Freeman towards the wing to another Freeman. That's 4 in a row. Doing well there. Lucy's involved twice in that passage of play. Finally, we've got someone else with the footy. As Sienna Curfew
for your calling.
Goes towards the pocket and couldn't quite find Cope.
That's got to be the first time we've had it. Freeman.
I don't know how Lucy got ahead of how quickly she moved to end up with the footy in the end again, well, as the ball comes out and it's intercepted again for the Eagles. So now their chance to lock it in. They lead by 7 points in this first quarter. Tight in the pocket. It's out of bounds on the full. So free kick here for Bayswater.
Bayswater is defending well. They just can't afford to leave any Vermont Gold player loose because Vermont is making them pay.
Well, here's an opportunity. Cope bouncing footy towards the goal line. Plenty of numbers here for Bayswater.
In the back.
McKenna gets the free kick for in the back. It's under a lot of pressure are Bayswater, as we've said quite a few times in this first quarter.
Their back seeks are very impressive at this point.
Well, they've held up well, but it's going to come back again. Oh, in fact, it's a free kick, so it was in the back of Katie Cameron. So can they just reset here? Cameron to White. White down the line. Underneath that one, couldn't quite take the mark. Could Stone. It was well defended. Going forward this time was Bunning. And now inside 50 again for the Eagles. McKenna's out the back here for Bayswater. If she can get it. Tap forward. Around there is Freeman. She's able to pick it up. It was Madison Freeman, but wrapped up, and we'll get a ball up. Once again, inside 50 here for the Eagles. We've got just less than 4 minutes of play in this quarter. Handball away from Lucy Freeman. Cut off by Bayswater's defence.
In green.
As they go try and exit this forward back half. Davies. A free kick Vermont, so I think it was a pay to throw, so Sassari for the Eagles. Puts it towards the hot spot. Out the back, McKenna, strong hands. Has been super impressive for Bayswater in this first term.
Her, White, and...
Well, speaker White, there she is.
Yeah, and Cameron have been very strong.
So White towards centre wing. Out the back, couldn't quite hold the mark. Salapetro did well enough and earned herself a free kick too. Has been one of Vermont's key players in this first term. And she'll send them back inside 50 once again. The handball away there from Chapman. Was pinged for a throw, was it? So it's going to go the way of Lily Bunning. Long way out from home. finds the target, not quite, just over the top of her teammate's head. It's coming back, though. There's another opportunity. Here's Freeman off the right boot, and the mark's taken by Madison Freeman.
From Lucy Freeman.
Lucy to Madison. And now a chance for a shot on goal from Madison Freeman, who
These girls,
they've all been very impressive as Freeman comes in for Vermont's second. Not quite, just a minor score, 1-2-8 to Bayswater to get the score. 18 minutes gone first term. I reckon, Kate, if I'm ever not sure on who's got the footy, just say Freeman because it's probably one of them.
I don't think you can go too far wrong there.
They've had plenty of it between the three of them.
Yeah, and with Bayswater, it's either White, Cameron, or Thompson.
Well, McKenna again out of the back half. The Eagles have got some numbers out here. Handball away from Sari. Chasing this one, Kerfing. Now inside 50. Bounced over the back of everyone. Picked up nicely. Bayswater as they try and escape this back half and get to quarter time without conceding a second goal.
A lot of pressure from Bayswater. As is from,
there's Zoe Lynch back on the ground as well. So
yep,
back after the 15 minutes off. Now inside 50. Bunning gets past. Takes the game on. Handballed over the top. Who can run onto this one? It's Cope off the left boot and puts it through for Vermont second. On the eve of quarter time.
That's
a great goal there from Cope.
Yeah, that's Liesl Cope's 8th goal for the season. The impressive thing about Vermont Gold is that they do have multiple goal kickers, so they're not really relying on just maybe one or two or three. They've got multiple goal kickers. Similar situation for Bayswater, but with Bayswater a bit undermanned with their major players missing through injury, Bayswater's holding up.
We'll see how they can go here. They don't want to concede one more right before quarter time. And there is your siren, so a big quarter for the Vermont Gold side. They lead at the first break 2-14 to Bayswater, no score. We're going to take a quick break here, and then we're going to be back for the second quarter action out here at HE Park. It's the Division 4 preliminary final.
Boundary.
We'll go down to Kate Green on the boundary.
Hi, Ryan, just down here with Chappie. Very positive quarter defensive-wise for you girls. You're attacking, but it just doesn't seem to be just getting down into your forward pocket in the moment. But you've got to be happy with your defensive six at the back.
Definitely happy with our defensive. With our mids too, pushing back to give them a helping hand. Our forwards were stuck too deep, which we're telling them to move up the ground a bit. So yeah, very happy with the way, like, even though the scoreboard's that way, still happy.
What's the message for the girls moving forward for this second quarter?
Yeah, like we go 3 words. We go hunt, effort and focus. Our effort and our hunt was there, but our focus dropped. So our message is let's pick up our focus.
Thanks very much, Chappie, and all the best for this quarter.
Thank you.
Well, thank you there to Kate Green with Mark Chapman, the senior coach of the Bayswater Footy Club. They trailed this game by 14 points at the quarter time. As we're ready to go for the second term, we'll hear from Steve White in just a moment, but we're back here live in the middle again. Jenna White out of the middle here for Bayswater. They get the first clearance of this second term. Big pressure here from Vermont. Cadho with the tackle there to hold things up on centre wing before we hear from Steve White, who will be very happy with the way Vermont have started this game, the first 2 goals of the morning. Here's Lynch for Bayswater. Had a yellow card earlier. Run down,
Boundary.
holding the ball from Salapicho. And we'll go to Steve White.
Just here with Whitey for Vermont Gold. Very positive quarter for you. Your forwards and mids giving a lot of pressure onto Bayswater's back six. How did you see that first quarter?
Spot on, actually, but that's what we asked for, to win the contested ball, because that's what Bayswater are really good at. So I think if we can sort of even the contested ball, which we might be 1 or 2 ahead at the moment, but if we can even or close to even, that'll put us in good stead to winning this game.
Any other message for the girls moving forward into this quarter?
Yeah, look, I've asked the girls to kick the ball long to space. I reckon we're a good running side, so if we can get the ball deep into space, I reckon that'll suit us as well.
Thanks very much, Whitey, and all the best for this quarter.
Cheers, thank you very much.
And thanks there to Steve White with Kate Green. As McKenna finds the footy again, wrapped up and holding the ball, free kick. So Sienna Curfey here for the Eagles, wants to play this one on straight away. Has a player out and taking the mark there. So an opportunity, I believe that could be Freeman.
Can't help you there. I'm still on my way back up.
So going back for the set shot here for the Eagles. Towards the top of the square, touched across the line, and just a minor score, and that was Freeman. That was Madison Freeman. 2-3-15 Vermont. Bayswater yet to score. And we played 2 minutes into this second term as Bayswater to take the kick in out of their defensive half of the ground. Towards White. Out the back there, almost stealing it from her was Lee. And a ball up now at centre half
On a quick
forward here for Vermont Gold.
On a quick side note then, Ryan just been asked by Parks' coach if we're starting to do their game.
Well, you'll still be down here, I'm sure, as we keep this moving on. As Vermont once again in chance now. Curfey's going to run onto this one. Couldn't quite pick it up. Picked up there by Preston. Lucy Preston there for Bayswater. Ekin's got the handball away. It's Cameron trying to break through multiple tackles. And it's a sling tackle. So Katie Cameron earns herself a free kick and a yellow card too. So the second yellow card of the morning. They've certainly been paying those today. That was for a sling tackle. So coming off the ground now. There'll be 15 minutes.
Who was that? Sorry, was just slightly distracted.
That was De Silva as the ball continues on. Freeman bursting through traffic. Her handball was cut off. That was Stone. Stolen away at the end for the Eagles. Going forward. McKenna underneath this one. Was trying to get rid of it. Was she able to? No, she wasn't. Holding the ball. And Madison Freeman will move this on quickly. Numbers over the top, out the back. Who can get onto this one? It's Lee who takes the mark. Fair way out from goal. Be kicking from outside the arc. She wanted to go back from there. Finds a target on the chest. Couldn't quite take the mark. Keeping it in front of herself. Bayswater able to get out of trouble here. But it's cut off again. They're under so much pressure. And Salapicho, who's been dominant in this first half, will send them back into attack once more. Under a lot of pressure is Preston. And she is wrapped up and we'll get a ball up inside 50 for Vermont Gold.
Salapero is having a great first half.
Free kick here. It was out of the ruck and Marissa Lee will have now a set shot on goal. If she wants to take this, she'll be from the 35 metres out. Good looking kick. It's just going to fade left. Almost a mark on the goal line, but just a minor score. So I'll let off here for Bayswater. 2-4-16 Vermont. Bayswater no score. Thanks for joining us on EFNL YouTube for this Division 4 preliminary final.
Just a quick update on the ground. It is heavy, very heavy with all the rain we've had. And also there is slight wind running from left to right of your, on your screen at a slight angle.
McKenna had the option to link up. So once again, they try and force this ball outside their back half, but they can't do it. It's Cesari who gets it back inside 50 here for the Eagles. Lily Bunning wrapped up by McKenna.
Vermont Gold speed.
And holding the ball free kick too as well. So McKenna, who's been good, one of Bayswater's best in this first half. It's a dangerous kick across ground. Picked up by Meehan. Out the back there, Hartley. Hartley's kick was smothered. She ends up with the footy again, gets a handball over the top. They link up. Going forward, Salapicho. Inside 50. Running was in the area, but doing well, Lucy Preston. Looks to get it back out. Kicking it to where it came from, Cameron. Salapicho's going to run onto this one. Probably about her 8th inside 50. She's had plenty of the football. And there's McKenna. So a couple of players from both sides who have been super impressive in this first half. Still not out of trouble yet because Vermont Gold have just set up so well behind the footy here. And they're able to lock it up. We'll get a ball up in the middle.
Just with Vermont Gold's defence and their speed, that's really causing a lot of problems for Bayswater.
Free kick here, I believe. Or no, we're going to just get another ball up. So, of course, Lee with the height advantage there in the ruck. We've talked about that, of course, on the pre-game. Lee's handball over the top to Freeman.
Bayswater still doing a good job in the centre clearances to try and get it out to their players.
Certainly going to be a lot of pressure on their gun midfielders to carry a lot of the workload in this last three quarters if they are to win today and progress through. As Lee out of the ruck again, got the handball over the top. Curfew forward. Freeman almost picked up by Cope. She kept it alive. Freeman off the ground. McKenna again. And that was a sling tackle as well, I believe.
Yeah.
So free kick here to McKenna.
The umpires have really come down on the sling tackles, particularly in these finals. They do try throughout the season, but they just seem to be really, really on the ball.
Salapicho inside 50 for Vermont Gold. The mark was dropped. So still alive here. Trying to keep her in front of herself there, O'Sullivan. We'll get a ball up, but dangerous spot. And the spot that Vermont Gold would love to have this footy at. Now 20 out from goal. With already a 2-goal lead in this one. Cameron got a handball away in time. Freeman chasing this for the Eagles. She picks it up. Her handball cut off. Preston involved. O'Sullivan again. Pushed in the back. She'll get a free kick out of this and potentially in range here. Tight angle out at H.G. Parker Reserve.
You can understand now why Chappie said that they've had their mids drop back to give their defence a bit of a hand, particularly when you're seeing this much pressure from the mids and forwards from Vermont Gold.
Yeah, that's right. But it does make it very hard to then clear it out of their back half of the ground. Freeman out the back has got the third for the Eagles.
Number 37.
Madison Freeman. That's the third for Vermont. 3-4. 22. Bayswater no score.
9-minute 11 mark gone in the game.
So 22-point lead towards Vermont Gold. And again, this second term has probably been more of the same as we saw in the first quarter, where it's just been all Vermont and they have controlled this contest.
The biggest advantage Vermont Gold has is, unfortunately, the lack of height that Bayswater has in the contest and in the centre. That said, Bayswater, kudos for their courage in hanging in there, trying to get those clearances.
So in the middle again, White been involved a lot. There's Cameron. This might be something they can get going here. They've moved this ball nicely. Eakin's inside 50. Who's able to get there first? It's all numbers for Vermont Gold as they kick it towards the wing, running onto this one first. Meehan tried to sock it off the ground. Tap forward from Green. The ball be held up here, centre wing. And with those midfielders that they do have in the ground, those centre clearances are one that Bayswater certainly will back themselves in.
Great intercept
There's
there.
White, bouncing ball. Had eluded Thompson there. Out the back was Clark. Clark's clearing kick. Hits up Salapetro, who's having a fantastic game so far. She's off already. She wants to play on, wants to use her speed towards Freeman. Freeman and Lee. Lee does the shepherd as Freeman moves the ball down the line again. They go towards the half-forward line. 3-on-2 in favour of Vermont. Kennedy was the first to grab it. She's wrapped up by two Bayswater players. Got the handball away in time. And now they go inside their forward half once again. Chasing this one. That Preston. Preston's handball into a bit of space. Running onto this is White. Couldn't quite get rid of it. McKenna involved again. Her handball cut off. Chance now for Freeman, who'll run onto this one. There's
Holding.
a free kick off ball, and it's going the way of the Eagles. And to take this will be Marissa Lee, who'll potentially be in range, probably similar type of angle.
Yeah.
She'll look to extend it.
The umpire indicated holding, so bad luck to Bayswater for that. Been impressed with Bayswater back six, but
Well,
gosh,
here's
there
Lee
are a lot
towards the top of the square and punched across the line for a minor score. So that'll move Vermont to 3, 5:23 now. Bayswater no score. 12 minutes gone second term. McKenna to take the kick in.
I do feel that Bayswater, if they can get it down into their forward 50 through Vermont Gold's defence, they get a goal. It's really going to settle them down. They just really need that major to boost their confidence.
Yeah, they're right. They do need one before half-time if they're a chance to win this game. Is Stone down the line. Picked off again by Salapetro. Long kick towards the half-forward line. Bouncing footy. Dangerous one here for Bayswater to control. Freeman's around this one. Green. Freeman again. This time Lucy Freeman. The boundary line beats her though, so we'll get a...
I do have to say at this point in the game, number 47, Salapetro for Vermont Gold, she has been instrumental in so many contests to get the ball back into Vermont Gold's forward 50.
Has set up so well behind the footy and has created all those inside 50s and
Absolutely
generating opportunities here for the Eagles as towards the half-forward line, socket off the ground by Freeman. Under pressure again are the Bayswater side. Doing well there was Burns. Johns. Stolen away from Kennedy. Handball back. There's Salapetro off the left boot towards the top of the square. Under a lot of pressure. Couldn't quite take the mark. No free kick paid. McKenna looking to clear this one out. Was
Again,
looking for
that-
Stone. Lynch.
Again, that was Burns
Freeman
in the back.
at ground level. Bouncing foot in towards their dangerous area of the ground. Inside 50. As Cameron looks to clear it out. Running onto this one, it's Johns. and has Teeny to compete with there as Lynch picks it up. Handball back in play to Stone. Stone down the line. Salapetro in front position once again.
She really is spoiling every attempt that Bayswater does to try and get it back close to their forward 50.
Yeah, that's right. As if we don't have the Eastland Hoyt's best on ground voucher today, but if there was one, she would be certainly a very strong candidate, particularly in this first half. As Vermont now look to use the corridor. They've got the speed running onto this one, socket off the ground. Back inside their forward half. They just keep it in front. Chasing that one, Madison Freeman. Kept alive. Kennedy went without it. And I guess it's going to fall almost into the lap of Salapetro. Didn't take the mark, but controlled it enough to still get the kick away. As Bayswater, is this their best opportunity? How's the bounce? Doesn't really favour either player. Socket off the ground, that was in danger. So free kick here for the Eagles.
That's...
Elder. So Elder. Down the line it goes. Bounced in favour of her teammate.
Charlotte
but they've got plenty of numbers around this one. There's Lee. Socket off the ground from Cope to Freeman. She can pick it up cleanly. She's off. She gets through the tackle, puts it on the boot, and finds a target. Another Freeman. Lucy to Madison. And Madison can go back for her second, Kate.
Well, it's almost turning into the Salapetro Freeman.
Freeman show is Freeman's kick just to the right, so minus score. That moves them to 3-6-24 to Bayswater, no score. They've been on top of this game 16 minutes into this second quarter.
Bayswater's got to find a way to get it down into their forward 50. Their backs are good at getting it out, but Vermont Gold's mids and forwards are just shutting them down.
Well, they've just feel like they've got the leg speed at the moment to Vermont Gold. Clearing kick back into the middle of the ground, but this is where Vermont Gold have been so good because they've had so many numbers behind play. And they're...
So many loose.
Kennedy. Gemma Kennedy out the back finds Madison Freeman, who had the last shot on goal. Was the unselfish option there. Went to find a teammate. There's Burns looking to clear it out. Lynch. Did she get a kick away in time? Lee picks it up. Lee off the left boot towards the top of the square. The mark is taken again for Vermont. I believe that could be another Freeman. Just waiting to... There it is.
Yes.
Thought so. I didn't know which one to go with, but it's Lucy.
If you'd said Freeman, you had three.
I should have just said Freeman.
Yeah.
It's a 3 in...
just
3 in 16 chance.
Yeah.
So here's Freeman. We'll go to you in just a moment as Lucy lines up and puts it through for the Eagles. They've got their fourth, 4-6-30, leading Bayswater no score as we approach the halftime siren.
What I'm going to say for Bayswater is, I know that they've dropped back their mids to help out their backs, but it's costing them because they're leaving so many Vermont Gold players loose and free, and that's really, really costing them. And I know that their backs need help, but I think that they really just need to pivot around and be more attacking, rather than being as defensive as what they have been.
It's one of those things where it might stem the bleeding, but it's not going to win the game if they can't generate some forward 50 entries themselves. This is where they can get it out. And there's White again, who gets the centre clearance. Just can they get something ahead of the ball? And you've got to credit what Vermont have done so far. Here's Cameron here for Bayswater. She keeps this one moving forward. Cut off by the Eagles here in Sassari, wrapped up by White.
What's also showing through at the moment is, as we mentioned in pre-game, there are so many players in this Vermont Gold team that have played up in their seniors, and that experience is coming through that we can see here. And reading the games.
Yeah,
so that and the fact that they've got that running game that their senior team has, and Bayswater's got to find a solution for that.
So here's Lynch, bouncing footy. We've got just over a minute to play in this second term. Can they get one late? Wrapped up. Dispossessed of the footy there. It was Hunter. So we've got exactly 1 minute left in the second quarter. 4-6-30 Vermont Gold. Bayswater no score. Can they get one back before the halftime siren? Bunnings tap down. Ball going nowhere, and we'll get another ball up. So Vermont Gold will be liking just to repeat stoppages here. One clearing kick might be enough to get into halftime without conceding a goal in the first half.
I just really, really want Bayswater to see what they can do to get a goal, because I really think it'd help them going into this break.
Well, it'd just make things a little bit more interesting going into half-time, because it has been all Vermont as Lynch kick into space. Who's going to get there first? Chasing this one is Stone, and they're unable to get this one out. It's Kennedy who'll clear this one for Vermont, and they're going to even potentially have a chance themselves from end to end if they can get this inside 50 quickly. The mark is taken, long way out, 3 seconds to go. Can they get a mark before the half-time siren? Bouncing footy, siren will beat them. But they'll be very, very happy with their first half performance. 4-6-30, they lead Bayswater no score. It is half-time out here at HA Park for the Division 4 preliminary final. We're going to go to a break, and then we'll be back for the second half action.
We all good there? Okay, welcome back to the second half of this prelim final between Bayswater and Vermont Gold. Game's just kicked off with the ball going down into, I think it's your end for the kicking? No, the opposition's end. I'm just here on the boundary with Matt Chapman, Chappie for Bayswater. Tough first half, no majors on the board. What was the message for the girls?
Message is they're doing an amazing effort considering to plead with numbers. The on-ball is suspended, everyone's tired, but the message is this: let's just win this third quarter.
Well, the positives from what we're seeing from the commentary box is that your defence, both with that, your backs have been doing an outstanding job with the help of your mids, and we just wish you all the best for this quarter.
Cool, thank you.
Thanks to Kate Green. Down on ground level with Mark Chapman, the senior coach of the Bayswater Footy Club. Bayswater look to clear this one out of their back half. The kick away there from Stone. Back in towards the middle of the ground. Fighting hard. Could be a free kick here going the way of Bayswater.
Boundary.
Thrown off the ball there was Molly Davies as we go down to boundary.
Just here with Steve Whitey for Vermont Gold. Very positive first half for you guys. You've got your running game up. Your mids and forwards are doing an outstanding job, as are your backs. What was the message for the girls in that half-court time break?
The quarter time break was actually to apply a bit more tackling. I thought we let a few tackles slip because we want the loose ball. That's where we're at our best. And similarly, like at half time, was just to keep going the way we've been going, because I'm very happy with the way that we're going. But footy can change quickly, so keep your heads down and thumbs up. And
quarter by quarter.
Quarter by quarter, that's right. So.
All the best for this quarter, Whitey.
Thank you.
So back in the middle of the ground there, Elder. The mark is intercepted by Bayswater. Tara Johns, the centre half back here, will move this towards the wing. Bouncing in front of the teammate there in green. Green chasing this one, keeping it in front of herself. They've able to keep this alive, and now she's off. Down the wing she goes, and intercepted here for the Eagles. Thanks to Kate Green, who's gone down to do those interviews at half-time. As Vermont, once again, they look to move forward. That towards the half-forward flank, over the top. Out the back there is McKenna. McKenna's able to pick it up as she's pressured here by Kennedy. And the umpire says, give it to me. We'll have a ball up right in front of the scoreboard.
That's what
Trees
you get.
4-6-30 Vermont Gold. Bayswater no score. 3 minutes gone third term.
That's what you get, Ryan, for being very popular with the crowd. You get your time taken up.
Yeah, yes, that's right. Just got to do the rounds out here at HA Park Reserve. Plenty of games happening after.
So you've now taken the mantle of doing a Ray.
A Ray. Ray. No, Ray's just a pest between once he goes around to different grounds as the ball stays alive. And it is a free kick here going the way of Bayswater, going to Katie Cameron. We'll be able to set this up for Bayswater, and we'll let you get back to your headset. And just noticing, having a look at the two sides come out on the ground. Great to see Bayswater spirits are up and about as this ball kept alive by Kennedy. At the handball inbound to Lee. Back she goes. The kick was smothered by White. White's off. She's got it off the left boot. Forward towards centre wing, but picked off here by the Eagles, who'll go inside. 50 again through Waddingham. Towards the half-forward line, in front position. And Cameron. Zalapicho. Off the left boot, inside 50. Freeman's underneath this one. Juggled it. Couldn't quite take the mark, but got the handball away in time. And towards goal, this one bouncing over the line. So no score here, and we've almost played 5 minutes in the third quarter. And it's still Vermont Gold. 4-6-30, Bayswater no score.
As Chappie said, his backs are tired, so are his mids, but they're still hanging in there. I just really feel, again, that a major would
Pop the spirits up a little bit,
yeah.
and potentially you never know if it can swing some momentum. We've seen
it.
crazier things happen.
Yeah,
But at the moment, it's all Vermont Gold as they've got one step into a grand final. Wantirna South, who are out here today. I saw quite a few people from Wantirna South. They'll be watching on closely.
There's been a really good mix, and what I'm really pleased is to see both teams who are playing, they've got their supporters out, they're loud and they're proud, and I really think that that's fantastic. Nice intercept by Bayswater, number 5. I think that was Harrison.
So Ruby Harrison here for Bayswater. Kick down the middle, finds a target in Ekins. She'll look to switch it towards us on the broadcast side. Was there a free kick? Not quite, as the ball kept alive. Elder inside 50, bouncing footy, just manages to stay in, avoids the boundary line. This time it goes over. And was it a push in the back? It was from Freeman, so it looks like this will go to Lucy Preston.
I think we're beginning to see glimpses of Bayswater saying, right, we've got to play to our game plan. We can't continue to be led.
Well, I think at this stage you just take some risks. You take the game on. You rather lose by 60 than not take the chances and have a go at. You potentially might blow out, but it's all you can really do at this stage. Is back inside, forward 50, the Eagles. The handball over the top. Can it be picked off here? Preston wrapped up. And there will be a ball up inside 50 for Vermont Gold. Been super impressive today.
I'm still impressed with Bayswater's back 6. They're constantly under pressure. They're being led well by Kyla Burns down there in the back, number 9 for Bayswater. But all of them are just working. Their work rate is through the roof. But again, Vermont Gold, with their attacking and their running style of game, is highly effective. Do we know what's going on at the moment?
Someone just jumping over the fence there. As Bayswater now able to play on. Vermont Gold leading this game by 30 points. I think it was, could have been Banners there with the camera from Vermont. Might have just been told to jump on the other side of the fence.
Yeah.
So right in front of the scoreboard, as we see, 4-6-30. No score, 7.5 minutes gone in this third term. Here's White, and she's off. She's advantage play on. She takes a bounce. Happy to take the game on. Salapitra underneath this one. And had won herself a free kick here. Look to play on right away. Towards centre half forward, just over the top of Freeman's head, but was able to control it and got it off to a teammate running past. There she is again, Lucy Freeman. Bouncing footy out the back. It's a one-on-one contest. Doing nicely there, Burns. Saving a potential goal there for Vermont. Off the right boot, O'Sullivan. Bouncing through for a minor score, so that'll move into 4-7-31 now. Bayswater no score.
That combination for Vermont Gold in the mid, the Salapitro and Freeman as in Lucy, very dangerous combination. They seem to be teaming up more and more as the game progresses.
Yeah, that's right. As there is Salapitro again. Has been outstanding. And this time there is a ball up just inside the forward 50 arc here for the Eagles. Again, they go forward through Freeman. It was cut off by Cameron. Cameron's kick was a dangerous one. Darcy Mann. Handball over the top. Waddingham. Wrapped up by White.
Whatever Bayswater do, Vermont has got an answer for it quickly, and then they respond so quickly.
And they've done it all afternoon as White. Another clearance for her. Out the back is just all Vermont numbers.
Just letting you know, Ryan, it's only 11 a.m. It's actually morning, mate.
I've said afternoon. I'm too used to saying that.
With the men's game.
Yeah, I know. Feels like it's afternoon. Feel like we've been up since the early morning.
Midnight.
We're doing a bit of work in the morning, and
yeah.
So ball up in the middle of the ground. The tap won by Lee. White with the handball backwards. They link up again.
Nice little play there from Bayswater.
The kick was smothered. Vermont able to hold this one up again. It's a 4-7-31 to no score.
There's these good little handballs and interactions, but they're not getting that opportunity or space to actually kick it to give them some clearance to get it down into their forward 50.
Here's Lee out the back. They keep this alive. Socket off the ground. Freeman over the top. How's the bounce? Does not favour Vermont Gold whatsoever, as just fell into the lap of Harrison and tried to clear it out. It's coming back, and McKenna takes the mark here for Bayswater at full back. Had plenty of the football today. Certainly come in her direction quite a bit and has taken a lot of marks, as so has Katie Cameron. It's been good here for Bayswater. She'll send it down the line again. Oh, great hands. Strong mark by Marissa Lee.
Unfortunately, there was a free Bayswater player option that she could have gone if she would have just gone slightly to the
They've got
left.
numbers out the back. Cope trying to get off to Freeman. Cope again chasing this one on a second attempt. Dribble kick forward. They can control this one here through Clark. Gets it off on the right boot. Back into space. Bounce. Favours Freeman, who goes one way, goes the other, and then puts it up towards the top of the square and hits up a target. Not quite. Clark at ground level puts it through for the Eagles. They get the first of the third term, and they move to 5-7-37. Bayswater no score. 11.5 minutes gone third term.
That's which Clark was that?
Madison
Sixth?
Clark.
Yeah, that's her second for this game.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Been very, very good. And that's a great finish in front of goal. Was in the right position, and
Unfortunately, I don't think Bayswater, even if they do get a score on the board and start to get it into their forward 50, I sincerely don't think that they do have a chance of getting over the top of Vermont Gold.
Been a very, very strong Vermont Gold side today, and a lot of experience, we've said, that has played in Premier Division level, and it is showing. They are looking a very high quality side, as Freeman tapping it to herself, who another one of those players who has played at that Premier Division level. Has sent it back inside 50. Preston trying to get rid of it. Wrapped up again. Thanks for joining us on EFNL YouTube, and make sure if you're around the area to get down to H.E. Parker today, because there's plenty of action in the preliminary final weekend, Kate, or Quamby Reserve.
Yeah, I was just going to say Bayswater have been very valiant. They're not giving up. You can actually see that they are so tired, they're back six, but they're still not giving up. They're absolutely giving everything that they possibly can. Again, soft heart. I'd really just like for them to get a major on the board, just so that it will just give them something extra to be proud of how they've played.
So the ball on centre wing at the moment. There's Lynch involved. Gets a handball forward. Freeman, Lee. And I'll be very fascinated to see next week's clash against Wantirna South. It will be a stronger Vermont Gold side than probably the last time the two sides met. Just with some of these players, their inclusions, they've been able to get back at the right time of the year.
But as you said, we do have Wantirna South here watching, and they'll be watching keenly, and I have no doubt that they'll be viewing this game.
Oh, big tackle late in the middle of the ground.
They will be viewing this game and taking it from there.
That's Cameron, just
Hope
at ground
she's
level,
alright.
just cop one high. So we'll come off the ground here, the trainers, as we continue on in the middle of the ground. Tapped in towards the centre corridor. And free kick here towards Bayswater. So taking the kick will be Molly Davies.
Hopefully they can get it into their forward 50.
Bouncing footy. Numbers out the back here for the Eagles. Keep it alive. Cut off by White. White. The left boot.
Does she have
Bouncing
a target?
inside 50. Who's going to get there first? Vermont with a bit of pace through Hartley. Hartley's off and uses the wing. It's a one-on-one. Coming out is McKenna to meet them. McKenna's kick hits up a target. They've done this nicely, so Bayswater have moved the ball down the line to Chapman, who 70 out, can put him back inside 50. Is there a mark? Doing well. Got on the right boot. Did Stone. But again, it's Vermont's defence that holds up well. Picked off here by White. They're pushing hard at the moment. Stone involved again. Got it off to Davies. That was good play. Inside towards the top of the square. Out the back. Doing nicely again, Hartley. Under pressure. And they move this out through Hunter. Hunter's kick almost intercepted by the Bayswater player there in Tara Johns. Zoe Lynch chasing this one. Handballs it backwards to get something going. That was through Preston. Inside 50, the mark is taken by Stone again towards the top of the square. Ball comes out the front. Eakins cut off again. Hunter. And the defence here for Vermont will not concede. They are very, very strong behind the players. They now go forward themselves through the middle of the ground. Who's going to win this one first? White chasing in front position. And a free kick here, or in fact it'll be a ball up.
That was great work by Bayswater. I think that's the most we've seen them have an attempt of getting a goal in their own forward 50.
Yeah, they pushed hard there. Freeman goes down the corridor to the other Freeman, out the back. Smart by Bayswater. They had some numbers around this one. No mark taken in the middle of the ground, but you can see they're pushing forward again.
Well, now they know. Sorry, Ryan. Now they know they can get it in their forward 50 and keep it in there, even if it was just for a few minutes. So that's got to give them some incentive.
McKenna will end up with this footy. Just gets her kick away in time towards the boundary side. She might be able to get her own kick. She does. Has worked hard to get that footy. And she was thrown away without it, so she'll earn herself a free kick. Has fought hard all day, morning.
The umpires have been really great with their picking up on tackles, pushes. They've just really upped their game.
The handball off to Preston. Uses the corridor. Well, you've got the great Sean Clark out there, who's done a lot of finals footy.
So we've got
competition.
So we've got 3 Clarks on the field.
Yeah, there's another one.
To equal the
Freemans.
Yeah.
There's Stone. Stone's kicking towards the middle of the ground. It's Vermont again who goes forward. Underneath this one, McKenna spoiling it away. Doing really well, but can she get rid of it, or is she going to be caught here? It'll be wrapped up for a ball up inside 50. Almost three-quarter time out here at HA Park Reserve. 5-7-37 Vermont. Bayswater no score. Less than 2 minutes to play. Here's Bunning. Handball over the top. Was trying to find O'Sullivan. McKenna chasing this footy. And back to Stone. To Preston, should I say. As they look to escape their back half. And now back into the hands of Freeman for the Eagles, who moves this on quickly inside to Freeman, who was in front position. O'Sullivan. They both had a hands to it, so it was called to play on.
You can see both teams are beginning to get, their exhaustion is beginning to come through. But like Chappie said when pre-game, you know.
Here we go. Here's Freeman for a shot on goal. Has put it through. And it was Lucy Freeman, Kate.
Again.
Another one for Lucy. And it looked like before it could have been Charlotte. They might kick one then. They've raffled them off. But between the three of them, they've all had an impact today.
Oh, they definitely have. But as I was saying, Bayswater's coach, Mike Chapman, as he said, with having 3 go out in the semi-final, they knew that they were going to be under the pump. They knew that they were going to find it really hard in the centre clearances and clearances in contested areas all over the ground. I'm really impressed with the girls and how they've kept going. I've loved seeing that glimpse of what they can do when they do get the ball into their forward 50. Just unfortunately, it wasn't rewarded with, a major on the scoreboard.
So here's Salpetro again for the Eagles. Left boot. Finds the target in Freeman.
Less than 5 seconds of this quarter
So
left.
they're going to run out of time unless they get a mark here. Don't play on because the siren's about to sound. Can have a set shot from here. It's a long way out. And that siren still hasn't gone yet. I don't know if they've fallen asleep in the timekeeper's box or if...
They give extra time.
Oh, of course.
Extra time, either
Yes.
2 or 5 minutes.
Oh.
5 minutes for, I think, injury and 2 minutes extra time.
Ah, very good. Very good memory there in the second half. Forgot where we were again.
That's why you have me here, isn't it?
That's, yes, part of your old description. Pull me up on siren times.
I'll need you to give me that description sometime.
We can work that out soon as McKenna clears it out. And there's your siren. 6-7-43 Vermont. Bayswater no score. Vermont Gold 1 foot into a grand final. Wantirna South are waiting. We're going to take one last break and then we'll be back for the final quarter out here at HE Parker Reserve for the Division 4 preliminary final. Welcome back to the Deakin University Match of the Round Division 4 preliminary final between Bayswater and Vermont Gold. We have 1 quarter to remain, and Vermont Gold 6-7-43 lead Bayswater, who are yet to score in this clash as we get into the final term and the two sides get ready to go out for one more quarter. Wantirna South awaits the winner of this game. Also today out at HE Park Reserve, Knox and Surrey Park take on the preliminary final for a spot in the grand final next week to meet North Ringwood, and that's followed by the South Croydon Park Orchards preliminary final, the winner to face South Belgrave in the grand final next week. Very exciting time. Of course, we've got the games at Quamby Reserve. We've had no updates, unfortunately, from the Division 5 preliminary final, so we will have to wait. And you know what? In fact, just as I said that, I've got a score. 32-1 at halftime. Heathmont were leading Templestowe. So I would imagine if that continues, Heathmont will be on their way to a grand final to meet Norwood.
Well, like I said to you in our podcast, Heathmont's running game, they just run over people.
And they got all their under-18s back as Vermont Gold streaming forward from the first bounce of this last quarter. Marissa Lee at centre half forward. Can she find a target? Spoiled from behind. Well done there, Zoe Lynch. Big pressure here from Dowsing. Lynch involved again. Wrapped up. Get a ball up outside. Vermont's forward 50. So a very dominant performance today. We've talked about Bayswater and some of their key outs. Certainly
Have
hurt their chances, and you can just tell they're starting to get very, very tired. Their mids have worked so hard, and Vermont, probably with a full bench, it looks like, down on the ground level, they've been able to just continue their speed across the morning and just have not let up at all. As in the middle there, Cameron. Handballed forward here from the Eagles. They look to try and get something out of this one. Kick was smothered. Ball comes back. Still not moving out of that congested area for either side just yet.
I was just going to say, these are the two teams that we haven't seen this year. So really happy that we're having them as our match of the round. It would have been nice to see Bayswater, not missing those 3 key players that they had go out through injury at last week's semi, but finals is finals, and congratulations to both teams to making it to the prelim, because it has been a long and hard season for all of the teams. Everyone's carrying injuries either through the normal season or just coming into finals, so it has been a tough season.
So Bayswater are able to turn this one over and now create potential and opportunity for themselves. Cameron doing a lot of work here. Received her own handball. She's wrapped up on that far side. So 2 minutes into this last quarter. See what sort of performance Bayswater can get out of this last term. See if they can get 1 or 2 on the board before the full-time siren. But keep this alive. Intercepted there from Zoe College for the Eagles. Looking to use the corridor, and a great mark taken using her body well, Darcy Mann. So Mann will go back inside 50.
Big long kick.
Freeman bounced off her chest, kept it in front of herself. Been one of the keys to this Vermont side today. McKenna, her kick was smothered. Vermont able to maintain possession of the footy until that came back into the hands of McKenna. Wrapped up as we've got a Magpie sitting right in front of us.
I think that's a message from Lee saying, go Collingwood.
Oh, get stuff, Collingwood.
Says the Richmond supporter.
There's no Collingwood talk on this broadcast, Kate. Because Cameron's kick goes backwards into a dangerous spot. Here's the Eagles have a set shot on goal. Just touched on the line, and that was Clark who tried to take the mark on the goal line there. So just a minor score, 6-8-44 Vermont Gold. Bayswater, no score. Sorry to our Collingwood fans listening. I know you come from a rich Collingwood family. Plenty of Collingwood heritage there.
says the biased Richmond player.
Yeah, I'm just angry with the Tigers' season this year, that's all.
Taking it out on the better teams.
There's
I don't
Vermont
know.
Gold go back inside 50 again.
Yeah. Been
Can they get another late one?
I've been really, really impressed with Bayswater's back six. The work that they've been under, they've really, really taken their defensive game style up another notch.
Yeah, that's right. Here's Lynch. Able to clear it out almost there for Bayswater.
Lynch has dropped back from being a forward and doing alternating ruck duties into the back line. So you can definitely tell that the back is needing a bit of rotation just because of being so tired, because of all that pressure from Vermont Gold.
Kennedy to Lee, who handballs it back into space. Picked up again by Kennedy. Goes back to Lee again. Now a chance of Bayswater to intercept this one. 6-8-44 Vermont. Bayswater no score. Coming up to 5 minutes gone in this fourth term. Thanks for joining us on EFNL YouTube today, of course. As they go forward again, Cope bouncing towards the top of the square. Trying to trap this one was Clark. Ball comes back out. Bayswater with some numbers to clear it out. So bounce eludes everyone. Doing well at the back there. Waddingham inside 50. Curfew goes and hits up a target in Lee. And Marissa Lee, who's been very impressive for the Eagles again today. Potentially in range. Off the left boot towards the top of the square again. Getting a fist to it. Clark is at front position once more. She puts through a minor score. So that's Vermont's 15th score of the day, 6-9-45. Bayswater yet to score. We've played 5 minutes into this final quarter, and Vermont Gold will see them next week, Kate. They'll play Wantirna South, who progressed through the grand final after last week's result.
Well, this time last year in this same prelim, it was Bayswater literally over the top of Wantirna South. And I think they kept Wantirna South either scoreless or very low score. I can't remember accurately from last year, but yeah, it's the tale of two seasons.
Well, it'll be fascinating to see that matchup because I think they've played two tight games this season. Wantirna South have won those two games, but without looking, I don't think a lot of these Vermont players would have played in both games. I think there would have been a lot of players who were still playing at Premier Division football. So the fact that they've got everyone available, they now have a real chance as a flag as Freeman goes forward. Can she hit up a target? Couldn't quite get there, Clark. Out the back is Dowsing. Under a lot of pressure. Doing well there, the Bayswater defence in Zoe Lynch and Kaya Burns, who gets this one out of trouble.
To Greshke.
So in the back pocket here for Bayswater. Forward to Chapman. Chapman out of their back half. Mark not quite taken there by Green. It's been a fantastic performance today from the Eagles, who we do remember they did win a Division 4 flag back in 2022 against the Eastern Devils, and two development squads there. That's not long ago, and it was at this ground. I wonder how many players would have played in that. I don't know how many would. It's probably a pretty new side compared to that team then, but there might be a couple.
Well, once I finish putting together that archive from 2021, you'll be able to have a look.
That'll be your homework tonight. We'll get you on that.
You have no idea how much work is in it, so maybe not tonight.
That's okay. As Clark, right boot forward towards the top of the square, out the back, falls into the hands of Jessica Dowsing, who puts in another for the Eagles, and they are on their way to a grand final. 7-9-51, Bayswater no score, and deserved a goal too. Had a couple opportunities, and that one she's able to put through. So a 51-point lead to the Eagles, who will enter next week's game. I don't even know who would be favourites in that one. Wantirna South, Vermont Gold.
I'm staying with Wantirna South. Just purely for the fact that they went out at this stage last year and they've made it to the grand final, but they've still got a lot to prove. Again, Vermont Gold, they, as Whitey said, you know, they asked to come up to this division because they were playing well and they felt that they deserved to be in this division. By getting through to the prelim, they've verified their belief in themselves and
absolutely.
belonging.
I mean,
So it's going to be a cracker next week. But I'm still going the heart choice of Wantirna South.
Well,
Sorry, Vermont. Still love you guys though.
They have. They very much verified it almost instantly when they came into the Division 4 this season, halfway through, and made an immediate impact. And
they haven't stopped.
Yeah. I'm just watching there. I haven't seen too much of Wantirna South this year, so just today is super impressive. They are a very quality side. There is a lot of talented players out there. Can Bayswater get one late? Davies inside 50, chasing this one, Hunter. For the Eagles, trying to clear this one out. Big tackle laid. Ball comes out. And we'll get another ball up. Still inside forward 50 here for Bayswater. We're approaching the halfway mark of this final term.
You know me, Ryan. I just really want them to have some kind of scoring shot off this on their board. And I think that they do too.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see them get one goal before the final siren. And this might be one of their best opportunities if they can lock it inside their forward half. Tap down from Bunning, off to Freeman. Streaming pass to Freeman, Freeman clears it out of defence.
You're just enjoying doing that.
As the ball almost picked off by Preston. Because they are everywhere, the Freemans.
Now I know what you remind me of. You're going Freeman. It's like Bueller. Sorry.
That's a good movie, though.
Sorry, we're off track, but that's what you've reminded me of.
Scope goes down the corridor, looking to find a target.
Bayswater have lifted a bit in this last quarter. It's good to see that they're determined to finish strong.
Yeah, that's right. They tap down again from running.
They've been very gallant, particularly their back six with the support of their mids. You know, they're not done yet, but unfortunately, it's not so far progressing to a score on the board. I'm really hoping that it does, but finals footy is a very hard taskmaster.
Yeah, and they're playing a Vermont Gold side who just they refuse to give up. They refuse to concede anything. They are getting ready for what is going to be a massive week.
They're both similar in that way, and I'm really enjoying Division 4. The teams that we've got in Div 4, they've been very impressive, all of them, because they've all had their moments.
Cope forward for the Eagles. Ball comes back into Elder. Clark chasing this one. Picked up nicely from Burns. Burns off the right boot to clear this one out. Finds Preston. The half-back line here for Bayswater. Preston down the corridor. Over the top of Cameron. Out the back, they've got some numbers. Beaumont chasing this one. Kept it in front of herself. Picked up here from Hartley. As the Eagles once again move the ball forward. Back in towards the corridor. Who's going to grab this first? Picked up very cleanly there from Kennedy.
But again, so many loose Vermont Gold players. You really can't afford that. And
Elder out the back. Clark chasing this one towards the boundary line. Picked up nicely. Spun around. Puts it on the right boot. This would be your goal of the day. Has missed. That was impressive. 52-point lead now. 7-10-52 to no score. Bayswater 12 coming up to 13 minutes gone, Kate.
I'm really feeling for Bayswater. Whatever they do to try and get it down to the 50 just gets shut down. Unfortunately, the number of loose players for Vermont are really making Bayswater pay.
Yeah, that's right. As Freeman handball off the College. Her kick intercepted. Bayswater start their attack off the half-back line. Running in front of this one, Beaumont. For the Eagles, Hartley. A free kick here going towards Vermont. So Hartley will look to instantly play on and use the corridor once again. Picked off here from Stone. On the middle of the ground for Bayswater. First season footage. She's been pretty impressive, I thought, as
She has been definitely.
bouncing over the top. Into the hands of Charlotte Freeman, who goes down the line, bouncing towards the boundary line. Picked up by another Freeman.
As Steve White alluded to, with having the support of Chris Clark and the team around them, they've really done an impressive job this season, just with bringing up their 18s into the rotation, having their development side being able to rotate into their seniors. It's really paying off, and you can actually see that experience shining through in this prelim.
Yeah, certainly as Burns, the intercept mark in the back line, bouncing through the corridor. Davies chasing this one. Where is Chris Clark? I haven't seen the yellow bucket hat around there.
He is here. He's down near their goal line.
So he has got it on. That's how you can spot him. You know he's always wearing it.
Yeah.
Yellow bucket hat.
I think
Lucy Freeman off the ground. Can they get another one? Ball still in play. Tapped forward.
He did say when he saw me when he arrived this morning that, it was all about Whitey. And he'd be around and supporting, but it's all about the Whitey.
That's right. 7-11-53 Vermont. Bayswater no score. Whitey's off to a grand final as Vermont Gold are. Be a big test next week. They take on Wantirna South right here at H.E. Parker Reserve. As Bayswater look to get something going. Got to say, they've had a fantastic year. I know the final series hasn't gone to plan and injuries have played a part of it, but they've been a fantastic team this year and have set the benchmark.
Great mark.
And now for Vermont Gold, Elder puts it towards Freeman over the top. Bayswater with numbers to try and clear this one back out. Back to Elder. Elder inside 50 again. Towards the boundary line, Bayswater, the smother from Clark. And over the line it goes. So
Ball up or last? No, ball up.
it's ball up, yep.
Yeah.
So less than 4 minutes to play in this final term.
With Wantirna and Wantirna South and Vermont Gold, we've got a great grand final coming. Both teams equally matched. Both teams very, very, very strong. Right across the field from their backs to their mids and forwards. So all credit to Bayswater for getting here. They've not given up. They've shown that they've got a lot of grit, a lot of determination, and, their back six, are the epitome of what Bayswater is all about.
Yeah, 100%. So a ball up here outside. Forward 50 for Vermont Gold. Running. Handball forward. Cut off by McKenna. Running again. Socket off the ground. Freeman. Handballed over the top. Preston to clear this one out for Bayswater. It's a one-on-one. Just outside the forward 50 arc. Umpire lets it play on as we finally get a stoppage. 7.5 minutes gone final term. Going to be a big week to discuss all these grand finals, Kate, and really break them down.
We've got a lot of work ahead of us.
We do. We're going to hit the textbooks and start preparing.
I already have.
I know you have.
That's
I've seen your notes.
That's not half of it. You ought to see my archive that
Yeah, off the right boot. Kennedy bouncing towards the top of the square. Ball comes out. Clark lost it. Kept it in front of herself. Under a lot of pressure. And Bayswater again, they continue to fight. And credit to them because they have not given up today. 7-11-53 Vermont. Bayswater no score. 18 minutes gone. Final term. Freeman. Right boot. Bouncing ball towards the top of the square. The handball over top. Another Freeman. is wrapped up by Preston.
I'm actually going to leave you right now and scoot down to the boundary. We're going to do a interview with the coach, Steve, because we haven't had him on, or would you prefer a player?
I'll leave that up to your hands. You surprise me once you go down there.
You may regret that.
Thank you, Kate, as the ball stays alive. Cameron won herself a free kick, and she looked to play this one on, bouncing along the wing. Vermont chasing this first. The handball back from Hope. They keep this moving. Freeman again. That's Lucy Freeman who puts it up towards the top of the forward 50 arc. Bayswater's defence able to hold this one up. Umpire lets it play on. The kick away. Socket off the ground from Hunter. Back inside their attacking half of the ground. They'd love to get one more to put the icing on the cake. And this could be holding the ball free kick. Not quite. We'll get a ball up. So 19 and a half minutes gone. We're approaching the final siren here at H.E. Parker Reserve. Taking the game on, Preston. Thought she's been pretty solid for Bayswater today. They continue to try and clear this one out. The mark is taken here from Darcy Meehan. So Meehan will launch it inside 50 once again. Ball hits the deck. Involved again was Clark. Stone chasing this one out. And there's your siren. Vermont Gold are through to the grand final in Division 4. A 53-point win in the preliminary final. 7-11-53 to Bayswater, no score. A dominant performance from the Eagles. The goal kickers from today. Clark kicked a couple. Freeman kicked a couple. Lucy Freeman, that is. Madison Freeman hit the scoreboard. Jessica Dowsing, Cope, all goal kickers there for the Eagles in a big win for Vermont Gold. And they are through to a grand final. After not having a second side last year, they've been able to get that back. And they are now going through to a grand final. They started in Division 5. They wanted to go up. They wanted to prove themselves. And they've done just that. They are now on their way to a grand final to meet Wantirna South. Exciting time for the club as they celebrate this one out on H.E. Parker Reserve. We've got Kate Green who's making her way down at ground level. But what a win for the Vermont Football Club. We'll keep you updated, of course, with those other games around the grounds today. We've got the Heathmont-Templestowe game. Last update from there was Heathmont Blue 5-2-32 to 1 behind Templestowe. But what a win here for Vermont. Next week's grand final. And good little sign of sportsmanship here. The senior coach there of Mark Chapman going over to the Vermont girls group and I'd say congratulating them.
Big shout out and class to Chappie for what he said to the girls. He just congratulated them and wished them all the best for, what's ahead of them. I'm just trying to find Steve White, but I think I've lost him in the middle of this.
Yeah, there's a lot of people down at ground level. Obviously a very big club, Vermont, Kate, so there's plenty of support. And I think you found Steve White.
Yeah, I finally found him. Steve, you blend in. You blend in with the girls there. I couldn't see you. Congratulations to you and Vermont Gold and Vermont Club. You're into a grand final.
Thank you. Look, Bayswater were a bit undermanned today. We knew that from last week. A few injuries against Wantirna South. But, look, credit to them. They fought it out till the end. We had a great win today, and hopefully that gives us the momentum for next week. Because Wantirna South, very good side, so we'll have to beat our best again, that's for sure.
The one thing I love about women's football is just how every coach is really so generous and so kind towards each other, and just really have such a lovely rapport with each other, win, lose or draw, and that was seen today between you and Chappie.
Yeah, well, Chappie, good man. obviously, as I said before, my niece is the captain, so I've got to know Chappie fairly, and the assistant coach Burnsy as well. So good club, Bayswater, and I wish them all the best for the future, that's for sure. So.
We wish you all the very best moving in to the grand final against Wantirna South, and we look forward to seeing you next Saturday.
I'm looking forward to it too. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks there down at ground level, Kate Green, with the senior coach, Steve White, of the Vermont Gold side. Congratulations to Vermont Gold. They are through to the Division 4 grand final, taking on Wantirna South next week. 53-point winners in today's preliminary final. We're going to start to wrap things up here as Knox and Surrey Park are about to take the ground for the Division 1 preliminary final, followed by South Croydon and Park Orchards in the Premier Division competition. As Kate, we still got you on ground level just for the moment. We might have just lost Kate, but just to start to wrap things.
Actually,
there you go.
Just quickly, Steve White just said, just then that it was probably the best game that they've played all season. And I just said to him, what you and I have really noticed and what was incredibly evident they've picked up their running game. And he goes, yeah, very much so. And I said to him, you've brought so much back through having that rotation of the development squad players going up into their seniors who have that running game. So it's all positives for Vermont Gold going into next week.
Yeah, certainly right. There's a lot to talk about throughout the week because grand final week is almost here. We've got 4 more preliminary finals across the afternoon out of Quamby Reserve and H.E. Parker Reserve. So if you're in the area, get down to one of those 2 grounds to check out some preliminary final senior women's football. And then we'll be back here at H.E. Parker next Saturday for our grand final day. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ryan Long, joined by Kate Green. We'll see you next time.